welcome back to Miss Cindy's Kitchen. I'm going to show you a quick way to make tuna melts that works for if you have canned chicken or canned tuna. Basically the other night I decided to make chicken melts for dinner because I had some really good rolls and I had some leftover toppings from our fish tacos. The cabbage, and then I chopped up some pickles. And so anyway, tonight I'm going to make it with tuna and show you how to make a tuna salad melt. And I'm starting with 3 5-ounce cans of just plain old tuna, nothing fancy. A lot of people have tuna in the cabinet and they're like, what am I going to do with it? So, tuna, and then I have these really sour, sweet onion, tangy Sucker Punch pickle spears.
Ooh.
They've got a real pucker power to them. And they're really good. So I chopped up 4 spears, put that in the bowl. Ugh. Dahlia hears food and she's like, what's up? Alright, let me get a little bitty scraper. Alright. So scrape out the pickles, and then this is probably about just less than 1 cup of chopped cabbage. And I have the purple cabbage on hand, so I just finely chopped it, kind of like you would do for coleslaw. So there's that. And then I'm going to put in about 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. I'm just going to eyeball it. You don't need a lot, just enough to get the tuna moist. And then some spicy mustard. You're going to get a lot of flavors going on in here, because you can't be afraid of seasoning your food, because it adds a lot of flavor. And after all, that's what the food manufacturers for fast food do. They just load it up with lots of seasonings and then a tiny bit of seasoned salt.
What was that other one you just put in?
Oh, Badia complete seasoning. It's considered kind of an ethnic seasoning, but it is basically a good all-purpose seasoning, kind of like a Mrs. Dash type of seasoning, where it's got a lot of different things in it, like onion and garlic and a lot of different herbs.
Mm.
So I'm going to mix this up. You can smell all the yummy smells coming together. And I don't normally like fishy fish, but I grew up eating tuna, so I guess I've got an affinity for it. And it's a very good meat to have on hand in your pantry. So I probably could have gotten away with a little less mayo, but it tastes really good. Especially if you use genuine, real mayonnaise, Best Foods. Here on the West Coast, it's Best Foods. On the East Coast, it's Duke's. I think it's the Mississippi is the dividing line between the east side of the country and the west side of the country.
Hellman's. That's what I thought.
You're right. It is Hellman's. I misspoke. That's why it pays to have other people paying attention. Alright, so I'm just gonna, these are split buns, or they're actually ciabatta rolls. But for some reason, kind of like an English muffin, they slice it most of the way, but not all of the way. They gotta make the end consumer do a little bit of the work. And my bread knife is in the dishwasher, so I'm using a steak knife because you need a serrated knife to cut bread. So I'll just get these cut and then I will make them look pretty on the pan.
Now, obviously, you can use any kind of bread for
Yeah,
this.
any type of sandwich roll. If you use regular bread, I would suggest toasting it first, because otherwise it will be a soggy, wet mess holding on to the tuna salad. And sandwich rolls work really well. When I made the chicken melts, I used an everything roll, and that was good. If you think an everything bagel is good, try a sandwich roll made into a chicken melt. Really good.
Yeah, I think I remember one time you used hoagie rolls.
Yeah. I basically, we end up getting extra bread here and there, and then I stick it in the freezer. And then as we have need for certain types of bread, I'll pull things out of the freezer and see what I can make with them. So, this pan is a little narrower, so anyway, we'll make it work. Alright. So just pretend that these all fit neatly in the pan. Use your imagination. So.
Looks like a messed up Jenga.
Yes. Cooking is about flavor, not perfection. Just going to put a little blob of tuna on each one, and then I'll go back and spread it around. Kind of like the COVID virus. Alright. You know, the Care Bears had it wrong. Sharing is not caring when it comes to COVID and flu. Alright. Okay. So this actually can stretch to fit all of these buns. I just need to reallocate some of the tuna. So, and then you're going to top it with some shredded cheese.
Ooh.
Just whatever cheese you happen to have on hand. And speaking of cheese, I looked at the receipt for some Havarti that I bought earlier. And instead of, they put, I can't remember how they wrote it, but it was just kind of funny because they called it, Havarti shingles rather than singles. Because it was finely sliced, cheese.
So the Havarti must have had chickenpox when they were here.
Yes. So we have some Havarti shingles in the fridge to go with our ham when we make sandwiches. So
Cool.
I just thought that was funny.
I'm sorry, this cheese is called Havarti?
Yes.
I've never heard of that cheese.
You've eaten it many times, honey.
I'm sure I have.
All right. So.
You know how it is in this house. You make something, I eat it.
Yeah. And I have to hide food because if I don't, Tyler will eat it. We actually had to get a lockbox for cold cuts because it was just irresistible to him. Sounds kind of mean, but it actually is, helps save a lot of frustration in our house. He gets enough to make a sandwich at a time, and then the rest is saved for everybody else to use. Because he would fix sandwiches kind of like Shaggy in Scooby-Doo, where they would be monster-sized sandwiches. And the rest of everybody would be like, "Where's the lunch meat at? I just bought it." I don't know.
He does kind of look like Shaggy.
Especially now with his longer hair. So, anyway, these are going to go in the oven at 425 for about 10 to 15 minutes. You just kind of got to eyeball it. It basically just needs to heat the tuna through because it doesn't need, the tuna is canned and safe to eat straight from the can. It's basically just to give the cheese a good melt. So, we're going to put these in the oven and then we will bring you back when they are done. Alright, and the tuna melts are done. Watch out, Dahlia. Get the dog out of the way. Alright. So, and I also got some mitts to match my apron. Alright. So, that's what was still in there. Alright. So you get a nice good long look at that. Oh. Alright, so now that they're out of the oven, we are going to let them cool so we don't have any scalded tongues doing our taste test. So while they're cooling off, so please like, subscribe, and share to your friends, and we'll be right back with you. And we're back, and these have cooled off for about 10 minutes, because after the too hot chicken legs the other night, I'm like, you know what? I just give it all a little bit longer to cool off. So, anyway, who wants to go first for the taste test?
Let Logan go first.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Logan.
Woohoo! Nummy, nummy, nummy.
Very good.
Very good.
Alright.
And they're all nice and soft.
Yeah, these ciabatta rolls are really good. So, now we can have you
It's my
try
turn,
it.
all right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The roll's crunchy in the bottom, but very soft in the middle.
Yeah.
And the tuna melt really gives a great accent to the food. It's very good.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. So, please be sure that you've liked, subscribed, and share this video to your friends so we can expand and do more videos. And please give us feedback to let us know what you'd like to see in the future and what you thought of this recipe. So we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.